listening to AchieveRadio.com. A new drummer for a new awakening.
Achieve Internet, YouTube Live TV. Those of you that may be watching from Facebook, fans of Karen Hager, that is an award-winning radio called, excuse me, Out of the Fog Radio. I am recovering from a cold, so every once in a while you may see me have a leprosy attack, but I'll get over it. And I promise that we'll keep on going. So Karen Hager has had, you know, back in the Brass Ovary days, back when I was on Blog Talk Radio, Karen's show was on at the same time, and it is kicking and doing well. And she has progressed, and she's a mad woman on the road doing spiritual teaching. I say mad woman because she's got a wacky sense of humor. She's fun. But besides that, she's extremely inspirational and a wonderful, intuitive channel. So with that, I'm going to say, Karen, are you there? Okay, we're going to hang in there just a little bit longer and see if Karen is going to join us. For those of you that may have been with Tarot Joy for a while, you have seen me go from different stages. And one of the stages was when I was doing skits, psychic radio theater. And I had an hourglass named Sarah, and we would do skits back and forth. Well, then that went into just plain psychic radio and call-ins. And from there, I have gone straight into more and more of just this wonderful live YouTube TV factor. Here in the prairie, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. I have purchased a wonderful mister from Young Living, and I am trying little oils in it. I have put away the Airwick lavenders and the Airwick and the chemical sprays, and I'm going to try to take on some more oils misting in the air in kind of a surrealistic way. And work on being more healthy, especially in the closed-in winter days when I know that I'm, you know, when you're breathing in those chemicals with that heat and all the rest of the stuff. So, you know, it's all good. I'm going to try one more time to see if Karen is on. Karen, are you on? And we are still having some problems there. I am going to, as soon as I get a little bit of time to get into my studio here, I'm going to do a little bit of reading for everybody. Since I don't do astrology, I do a wonderful little reading that sometimes is all about the day and maybe for the universe. Miss Karen, hello. How are you?
I'm happy, thank you, and I'm so glad to be joining you. It sounds like this has been quite an adventure.
Well, it has been today. I don't know why, but we were having spinning videos and all the rest, and we got on, and so I am in the process of trying to get into my studio right now. So I'm going to hand it over to you and say, Miss Karen, tell us when you started having this. I read your bio, and your bio says some pretty amazing things about you. So when did you start? How do you read? How do you fixate into your spiritual channeling and stuff? And just go ahead and be as funky and honest as you want to be.
Well, thank you. And I want to start by saying I flossed my teeth for this. And so if we don't have video, I'm just going to be destroyed. I flossed for this, Anne-Marie. I'm Karen Hager. I'm an intuitive guide and psychic channel. I've been doing this work for about 7 years now, and I've been strange ever since I was a child, and I'm reliably informed that I'm still strange today. I began as a child seeing and knowing things that other people didn't see and know, and I pretty quickly realized that that was maybe not cool, that it made me weird, and I really didn't want to be weird. I wanted people to like me. I wanted to fit in. One of the things that I'm learning now as an adult and as someone who teaches intuitive development and works with people who are coming to grips with their intuitive abilities, if I had just allowed myself to show up as I was, probably everything would have been okay. But I swallowed my intuition, and it wasn't until many years later, until I was in my early 40s, that I had a series of events happen, and I found myself in a place where I said, yes, I know it sounds weird, but I'm going to open up to my intuition. Yes, people may think I'm crazy, but I'm going to see how I can take my intuitive abilities and the other gifts that I had through years of study and exploration. I want to put this all together and see if there's a way for me to help people, yes, but also for me to live the fullest life I possibly can. It took me all those years, Anne-Marie, to learn to show up exactly as I am.
Yes. And that sounds a lot like my life, too, so I can totally understand. So
Isn't it better now that you can be who you are? Isn't it better to be who you are?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think about all the years that I was worried about, and not to say I don't now, but, about how many, constantly comparing. Comparing is such a life fear. And, comparing myself then, did I have lousy acne skin, or did I have flawless skin like, Susie, what's her name, down in homeroom? Or was I thin enough? Or was I, busty in hell? No, I had no boobs. But all of these things that I didn't fit in. And as well, being an indigo child, it was odd enough to find that I was like a whale child that pinged in on things like satellites. But when you're super, super, super intuitive and you're kind of tuning into everybody's emotions and you're feeling them, it begins to be this crisis, a crisis where you start to overanalyze, and you're analyzing how they're looking at you, and you're analyzing how you're feeling, and pretty soon you forget who you are, whether you're them or whether you're you, or that sounds strange, but I'm sure you can focus on that, can't you?
I can. Oh, sure, and you're doing that, analyzing from a place of projection. Because when you have a lot of raw intuitive ability and you don't have the right kind of channels, you don't have the tools to use it, you're just, I was all over the place, which is kind of why for me I sort of shut it down for a long time. I was all over the place. So this analysis that you're talking about, do they like me, do I fit in? And when you add intuitive information, you add empathy, I mean, you're a hot mess. You do it from that place of projection and you're not going to get accurate information anyway. one of the things that I'm so passionate, and it's interesting, Emery, I'm working with a lot of teenagers now. I have a lot of clients who are adults in all walks of life, and I'm starting to see come into my practice more and more teenagers, and especially teenage boys, like 16, 17, 18, who are experiencing, I'm going to say, like psychic phenomena, for kind of a big blanket word, and don't know what to do with their intuition, and yet know that there's something they're meant to do. They're not swallowing theirs like I did with mine. They want to use that and come to grips with it. And one of the only ways that we can connect with our intuition is through being absolutely present in the moment, not coming from that place of projection, but allowing ourselves to be exactly where we are, showing up as we are all the time. That's hard when you're 16, 17, 18. Heck, I just turned 49. It's hard when you're 49, right? But that present connection is what's absolutely necessary to activate, engage your intuition.
I don't think that ever, in a way, do we ever stop? Do we ever really stop comparing ourselves? I mean, I think about the neighbors on my street at Christmas time. One person's lights go on and the next person's over, trying to beat or join them. Everybody's always super hyper aware of how they fit into stuff. And my sense is that we never stop worrying. But tell me about fear. Tell me, we are already talking about fear, but how does this living without fear, how exactly, do you have a meditation? Do you have anything that you do specifically when you're finding yourself in a fearful situation and you don't want to feel that?
Oh, absolutely. And I don't know about living without fear, because fear is a really important trigger, right? We have to listen. Fear means, hey, pay attention. And so I don't know if I can live without fear. I feel like when I get scared, it's because I'm projecting away from the present moment. And so when I start to feel afraid, the quickest thing I can do is put my hand on my heart and say, I am here. I am here in this moment. I feel my heartbeat. I feel the pulse of the divine within me. I am here. From that place of being right here, I can pay attention to what the fear is trying to tell me. I went last weekend, Anne-Marie, and I had an MRI. I am incredibly claustrophobic, okay? And the MRI was of my head. So I knew I was going in the tunnel, and when they do an MRI of my head, wow. And when they do an MRI of your head, they don't just put you in the tunnel, but they put a little sort of a helmety thing over your head before they put you in the tunnel so that your head stays absolutely still. And I knew that for me to be able to do that, it was going to take, first of all, it was going to take some chemical assistance because I'm really claustrophobic, but it was going to take me trusting myself enough and trusting the process and showing up enough that I knew ahead of time I wouldn't freak out and run away. And so what I did was, before I left, I put my hand on my heart and I told myself, I am here. When I got to the place and I was lying on the little table that they put you on before they slide you into the tunnel,
right.
I reminded myself that I was here. I connected with my breath. I closed my eyes, and boy, nothing would have got me to open my eyes, because that would have been all over if I'd opened my eyes. But I connected with my breath. I connected with the present moment. I got through 1 second at a time of that experience, and I came through it okay, right? We have to go through fear. It's a part of life. We move through fear to get to other things. But remembering to come at it from the present moment helps a lot, right?
Right. There used to be a hypnotherapy technique that I always used to love, self-hypnosis, that says, imagine that you've already done the thing that you're fearing. And then try to, in your head, imagine yourself taking all the steps that it's going to take to do that situation, every little thing. And then, like, some kind of super fast speed, see yourself going all the way through the steps until it's done, and then reverse all the way back, and then reverse all the way back, doing all the steps, and then going back again until you're so totally sick of the whole thing in your head where you've gone all the way up, all the way back. Today, when we have some glitches, the glitches we can't always count on, but I think learning to adapt and learning to say, oh, well, shit happens once in a while is a really important ability for combating fears. And that's something that's still taken me a long time to learn.
Well, I think the thing to know is that this is a process. That you don't take the magic breath or say the magic word and all fear is gone and you go, oh, well, I'm done with that, now I'll go on to the next thing. This is as much a part of us as breathing is. This is a process. One of the things that I try to do when I work with people for healing, and especially in that Breathe, Love, Live healing class that I teach, is we really focus on how do we, through the power of our breath, continue that process. How do you live and love and heal all through the breath? So everything that you're talking about, taking yourself through the experience, being flexible, being supple, dealing with changes when they arise, trusting yourself that even if we have technical glitches, even if you never see my beautiful flossed teeth on the video today,
and I'm so sorry I'm so sorry that you flossed and we didn't get you today.
No, flossing is a good thing. I think flossing in general is commendable. And if this experience got me to floss, then I'm all for flossing, baby.
I suppose so, Karen. Well, I think that I would like you to tell me about your radio show because, how long is it? Tell me, you're on that show, but you said it's an award-winning show. And can you tell me more about your beginnings on that and how it's doing now and where you've kind of, where's the transformation that's happened during that? Because you've also been doing some touring with some other spiritualists, weren't you, if you're not already?
I do teach in partnership sometimes with Dr. Michael Lennox. He's a wonderful astrologer, and I travel back and forth between Michigan, which is where I live, and San Francisco and Los Angeles, and I work in person and teach in San Francisco and L.A., and when I'm in L.A., I often team up with Dr. Michael Lennox. Gosh, he's funny, and I love him so much. We're a wonderful team because I know nothing about astrology, and I love to read with him because he picks up on things that I can then validate and add details to, or I'll pick up on something that he can validate and add details to, because we come at it from these two different disciplines, astrology and intuition. So I love to work with him. Michael and I do some online events from time to time as well. The radio show is called Out of the Fog with Karen Hager, and I started that back in, 2007 or 2008. And I began
around 2008, I think. Doesn't it? Because that's when we started Brass Ovary, and you were just doing it at the same time, I think.
Okay, so 2008, because I've known you a long time. And we're so young, still so very, very young.
Yeah.
I started that show in my basement office in San Francisco, and I was just starting out as a professional intuitive, and I thought, well, if I have a radio show, I can do readings for people on the air, and I can kind of get my name out there. And what I didn't know was that through that radio show, I met so many great people, made so many wonderful connections. That show then moved from Blog Talk Radio onto the Transformation Talk Radio Network in WBLQ in New England, and nowadays we are a 60-minute interview program. We're on every week, and you can hear us now every Tuesday at noon Eastern on Empower Radio, and we're on the Empower Radio mobile apps, and we're on Stitcher and iHeartRadio, and gosh, a whole bunch I'm not even going to remember. But that show's all over the place, and I was so flattered last year to be one of the winners of the Conscious Evolutionaries Co-Creation Award for Media. That award was presented by Barbara Marx Hubbard, and it is designed to recognize people who are making a difference, making the world better through the work that they do. And that just flattered the heck out of me. I think of the radio show of Out of the Fog as kind of a big open door so that interesting people can come in and share their stories, share their journeys. We cover all different topics in spirituality. Last week's show was about emotional eating and the link between the weight that we carry energetically and physical weight. Next week, Yasmin Boland will be on the show talking about angels and astrology, the link between those two. So we run the gamut. And it's so much fun to do that show, and it's become really my work now as an intuitive. I work privately with clients. I do a lot of teaching, and the radio show's like recess for me, like playtime, where I get to connect with all these really cool people and hear their stories. So that's what's up with the radio show, and that's my award. I'm really proud of that, Anne-Marie.
Well, I can imagine. And you know what else it says? It says to me that if a wacky person like you can make it, we don't have to be all stuffy and arrogant and act like we're just too cool for, you know what I mean? I have known spiritualists that were in this I'm too cool for anybody that isn't I just can't even describe it. But it's really shows me that being yourself, as we were talking about, being yourself, being who you are, daring to be a little funky, daring to be a little bit different is okay. It's good. And that means that you're going to find that more and more people will want to be listening to you and want you around them, because if you're not perfect, then by gosh, they don't have to be perfect. And this fear of not being perfect is just, well, it's just silly.
Well, and here's the thing, and this is true for everybody, I think, everybody in their lives. If you are phony, if you don't show up with honesty, whether that's for yourself or for someone else, not only will you not fool anyone, because you can't really fool anyone for long, but that's always going to come back and bite you in the rear end. Right? If you show up honestly, you can. My mother always said, begin as you mean to go on. Right? So if you start with honesty, you start with integrity, if you actually walk your talk, it's a lot better. I've had a chance to interview some big names, and it's interesting to see the different ways in which they hold that power, because when you have the ear of people, when you are working with people every day, as you do and as I do, we have a responsibility to show up authentically, to be in integrity. And people hold that power in very different ways. I really tried at the beginning. I was going to have a perfect image, and I was going to be, and it turned out why do that? Why not just show up as myself? Why not just be honest and funny? Why not just say when I make a mistake or if I don't know something? Why pretend? This is about having a joyful experience, spreading some light in the world, making connections, helping other people make connections. That's what it's about. It's not about how perfect can I look or what do they think of me now. That's kind of silly.
Yeah, it is, but I think that you've managed to be able to fit it all in the same package, and I'm just really, really sorry that we didn't get to see your teeth all flossed and pretty today, and we'll hope that we can do that another time. But, I wanted to say that we do have some, and again, those of you that are watching, we sure would love to have you call into. The number is 602-666-6027. That's 602-666-6027. I know that you're out there. I know you're watching. So please call into the show and give us your voice. We've got people asking questions, and we have Jan in there, and let's start out with a reading on the phone for Jan. And Jan is a regular, and we will start out with her. And those of you that want to really dynamo 2 readings per call, give us a call. And so, Jan, how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing fine. How are y'all? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes. Doing
Hi,
great, Jan. Jan, what
can y'all just could y'all give me a reading in general, just whatever you might see, especially work-wise?
Hi, Jan. It is, when I look at work for you, what I see is, I used to live in San Francisco at the bottom of a very high hill, and the hill was so steep they'd cut stairs into the hill. And so when you talk to me about work, I'm looking up at a giant staircase, okay? Now, the hill has a top, and you do get to the top, but I feel a lot of effort. I feel like there's a lot of stuff for you to do in order to achieve what you want to achieve in terms of your career. So just because you're looking at that staircase, I would guide you to start to climb. One of the things that's true about you energetically, it feels to me, is that you don't always engage the support that you can. If there are people who can help you, people who you have not yet asked, please get every single person you know to help power you up that staircase. Do you get there? Oh my gosh, yes, you do get there, but you've got kind of a long climb, okay? I know that you don't expect it to be easy. I don't think you've ever had it easy, so I know you don't expect it to be easy, and you're willing to put in the work, but my guides are showing me that it would be great for you to ask those around you, ask anybody who can help you, give you that lift up the staircase, okay? Now, you're not a professional stair climber, though, right? Because that would be weird.
Right.
Oh, right. Well, my cards just all flew in the air, so I don't know what that means. Are you having a helter-skelter day today? What comes up is that you're bummed out. Life has not been the most romantic that you can think of. You've been feeling as if you're at that kind of point in life where you're going, is this all? There's a sense also that you need to realize that change is coming for you, Jan, and that right now the most important thing you need to deal with is your lack of patience. It says that you're kind of tied up with all kinds of obstacles and all kinds of blocks that have been really causing you to give commitment and responsibility to the things that you don't necessarily feel liberate you. And it shows that keep on plugging in there. Keep on putting your energy out towards sacrificing to you and what you want. Because right now, honey child, the one thing you fear most is how sometimes you just get this empty feeling inside your gut that says, is this all? And the most important thing you need to remember is you've got a warrior inside you, Jan. Obviously, you're calling into this show, which means that you do have an aggressive nature. You can reach out. And it says the most important thing you would like to do is just tell a lot of people to screw off. But the most important thing you need to remember is basically tell your fears to screw off. And just like calling into this show, hang in there. Realize that all your wishes will come true as long as you keep chasing them the same way you do this show. And the last thing I see is that right now, don't be impatient. Don't get, one thing you need to remember is that when you get impatient and you find yourself getting fed up, that just gives out the wrong energy to the universe. We all do it, right? We all do it. But try not to, because when you do that, it's almost like you're trying to control the show too much. And about the time you say, thy will be done, I'm going to let the universe take care of this. I'm going to quit analyzing it. I'm going to quit calling all these psychics and all these things and asking, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? I love you calling in, Jan, of course, but remember, just have some faith in your angels in the same way you do psychics, and you'll find that what happens is that you take the power from other people and you put it into your own angels and into yourself, and you're going to find that you make things happen faster. That's what I have.
It sounds good. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you,
You're
Jen.
welcome.
Many blessings to you.
All right. I'm going to go down In quick, it says, hello, Anne-Marie and Karen. This is from Serena from California. I am in a transitional period as I recently moved to a new location. Can you see our chances good for finding work I like in the near future? Any insight would be great. Thanks so much. This is from Serena from California.
All right. Hi, Serena. So as I just tune into you, I feel like, did you ever do a tracing of something and you lift, you've got your drawing and you're going to trace over it, but the drawing and the tracing don't quite meet up? That's the way I feel with your energy. It's like you're not quite, you know what I mean, right? I feel like Serena's not quite exactly in the right place. Please understand, Serena, that you're in a time of adjustment. It sounds like you've made a big move. You've got a lot of stuff changing. Allow yourself to do a little bit of fine tuning. Let's get everything lined up. There is work for you. You're in the right place, just not exactly. So what I would guide you to do, Serena, is really be paying attention. You've got gorgeous intuition, by the way, my friend. Really
gorgeous.
Be paying attention. Yeah, really be paying attention to as you look at opportunities, as you look at places to live, as you explore your new surroundings. Pay attention to how do I feel here? What are my guides saying to me here? What does my gut tell me about this place? If something doesn't feel right, please really examine that. You show me kind of a backstory of not always paying attention to your intuition, and that's been kind of icky, right? So pay attention to how you feel. Pay attention to how this place is. Let's make those fine-tuning adjustments to get you into work. I do feel there's work available for you. My guides are showing me that probably the first job you take is not one that you keep for a very long time. That's part of that adjustment. Please don't get discouraged by that. I know you want stability. I know you're looking to really start again and get that cushion under you. So if that first one doesn't work out, just remember that the wacky invisible radio lady told you that it wouldn't, and go on to the second one, okay? That's what I see. What do you see for Serena?
All in one breath you said that. That was so good. Okay.
I'm breathing through my nose and talking. I know I do go fast, don't I? I'm fast naturally, and when I get connected intuitively, I'm really fast.
Okay, what I have, Serena, shows that either you're at a job right now that you hate, or there is a sense, and I don't know why, I come up with justice, but it's upside down, which indicates to me that in the past, either there was a sense that you got in the wrong job and it isn't going anywhere, or there is a sense that perhaps something that you never intended, either a layoff or a situation that you never asked for, happened to kind of cripple your situation. So right now, and I have the Four of Cups, and the Four of Cups is telling me that, and it's reversed. So the Four of Cups tells me that you are in a situation which has kind of, you're ready to let go of the past. You're ready to let go of any stagnancy in your life, and that's a good thing. So you're putting the dominoes in line. But it says the one thing is wishful thinking, and I've got the Hermit now. And the Hermit is somebody that often is either in a process of feeling like they are on the outside looking in, or they are in a situation, perhaps in jobs, where they find that no matter where they work, they always feel like they're on the outside looking in. And that can cause you to sometimes feel alone or unliked. And that, too, can also be a situation you're creating yourself. Your reading shows, though, that regret is moving on. And I have the Four of Cups. And it shows a person, and they're looking at all these things that were so desirable in the past, while something else is being offered to them, but they're not looking at it. It's upside down, which says to me that you're ready to move on from your old regrets. You've had it from being stagnant. And the last card shows, and I know my cards are a little bit faded, but it shows a guy with dark hair, dark eyes, and it's showing the Knight of Pentacles. And that says to me that you're ready, to get into transformation in your life. A good job is coming. I show Pentacles usually stand for months. It's one. And that means that perhaps in 1 month's time that you will find something that is just right for you. So like Karen said, the lines are fitting up to the tracing or whatever, how you said that. I like that, but not quite. So keep on being hopeful and positive and realize too, it's up to you to not feel like you're on the outside looking in. Remember, I always tell my wallflowers, when you sit on the outskirts of a lunchroom at break time, or you start sitting on the outskirts out by the wall when you're at a party, what you're doing is saying, don't look at me, I'm worthless, and I just want to be invisible. Be in the center, whatever you can. Don't be afraid to sit with people, because you'll find that you're not invisible anymore, which means people will talk to you more and you won't feel like you're on the outside looking in. Okay, so Miss Karen, I'm going to say that we have, and I'm looking over here, okay, and we're getting back in our room here, and we're going into a caller from Ontario, Canada. Hello, how are you today, and what question do you have for Miss Karen? Yes. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Oh, I didn't know it was me. I'm Eva.
It's you. Yep, you're the one. So what question do you have? You're welcome.
My question is, I met somebody I really like, and I would like to know if there's a possibility that becomes a more important relationship.
Could I ask for the initials of this person?
V.
V. Okay, Karen, go.
Hi, Eva. You have made such warm and generous change in your life. It's like if I had a giant house and I'd closed it up so that I could only live in a few rooms. You have now in your life been going from room to room, taking the covers off the furniture, opening this up, and your life has expanded so much. And with that expansion, it allows you to open your heart to new love. I would guide you to take this slow and really enjoy it. I'll be interested to hear what Anne-Marie gets in her cards. My sense is that the warmth, the generosity, the willingness to experience life that you bring to your connection with V means that conversation between you is easy, that there is attraction, physical attraction between the two of you. There's a lovely, warm feeling. Now, are you ready to make a long-term commitment to really look at V as the partner who this is it? I'm going to hold his hand. When I'm 110 years old, I'm still going to be holding V's hand. My sense is that no, we need to do some exploring. We got to do some conversation before we get anywhere near that. Don't you dare deny yourself that exploration, that delightful getting to know you, that wonderful, how does this feel? Who is this person really? Go and have all the experiences you can with V, and then decide. Don't jump forward too fast. Then decide. How does V look to you, Anne-Marie?
Sweetie pie? Do you love complex loners?
Are you asking me?
Yes. Do you love complex loners? Uh-huh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's what I see V. I show V a complex loner. And I show that you've had a pattern of loving the people that are extremely maybe complex, a little bit creative, you know, and it shows that you also are so good at holding the hands of the partners that are going through rough times, that may be going through a divorce, that may be going through a rebound situation. I'm showing V either going through a divorce or having had one happen a while back. The reason I say that is because justice comes up as his card for the past, and that's about 9 weeks to 9 months ago, I'm showing that he is somebody that is looking. I have 6 of Cups, which shows somebody that is a little lost in memories, perhaps about somebody from their past. But I also showed that that could stand for your pattern of loving the hermit. The hermit is the complex loner, or the one that always feels misunderstood. He's looking for the perfect woman, or he's looking for the perfect life, or whatever. So what your reading says is that be very careful. Go into V, your exchange, knowing that he may be part of your love of not bad boys, but some complex loners. And don't allow yourself to get too therapeutic. Don't hold his hand too much. Understand that if he's a good guy, he'll want to talk about you as much as you'll want to talk about him. And that's what I have to say. Okay?
Yeah, thank you. That's
You're
great.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Eva. That's so important, Anne-Marie. That's a huge part of relationship is balance. And that being able to receive as you give is a huge, I see, and I know you do a lot of relationship readings. That's one of the places where things get really messed up. If one person's doing all the hand-holding and the other person's doing all the kind of being needy, it can really skew the energetic balance of the relationship.
Yeah, and I think a lot of women do tend to, find that they are getting themselves in a relationship too often with complex men, and I call complex men, that they are often the people that are the loners or the bad boys or the people that look for a good girl or somebody that is therapeutic to them. But the problem is, I always say, watch out for the complex guy, because they say they want a nice lady, but they often leave for the bitch. So just be careful. Okay, we got Renee. Renee from Pennsylvania. Hello, Renee. What can we do for you?
Hi, Anne-Marie. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Renee.
Okay, where I can meet an important boss that's going to sponsor me or back me when I'm ready to move, my city or another, what place would I maybe meet him?
I'm not sure that I quite heard everything you said. Are you saying, is there someone coming to support you as you make your move? Is that your question?
Well, I'm planning on making a move next year, but there could be a boss that maybe I will work with, and then I'll do my own thing, and he'll sponsor me or back me, and I'm just wondering where I would meet him and when.
My guides are showing me... Okay, so my guides are showing me, Renee, that your best action, your best plan forward is that you are, and this is kind of a little bit like what we were talking to Jan about, your best action is when you climb the stairs yourself. Through your effort, through what you put out there, that's how you attract someone who will sponsor you. And you're right, that is going to be someone who you work for, who then goes, wow, this is fantastic. You go your own way, and I'll kind of hold on to you while you do this, but you take free reign. You show me the energetic pattern, Renee, of someone who really wants to be the boss, and I don't mean in a bad way. I mean that you may be most comfortable when you are making things happen. Because to me, you feel like someone who really wants to make change and has kind of been thwarted, been stopped from making change in the ways you want to make it happen. So instead of, I'm going to shift your question a little bit, instead of when is this person going to come and take care of it for me, I'm going to shift the energy of the question to how do I find within myself that power, that drive to go forward doing what I know is right, doing what I'm called to, so that when it's time for me to move, and I agree with you about the move, by the way, you're right, when it's time for me to go, that I have everything all set up. It's you who do that. You have tremendous power, Renee, and you can make this happen. But if you were to just kind of stop and wait and go, where's the person who's going to find me and sponsor me? That person can't see you. They're not connecting with you now because you're not doing that putting yourself forward in the way that you, not just that you need to, but that you want to. This isn't making you do something that you don't want to do already. This is stepping into what your inner voice is saying, which is, let's get up, let's make change, let's get out of this old place and into the new place. So that's what I see when I take a look at your energy. You don't feel to me like you need to be rescued. You feel to me like you're building your own kind of rescue chopper to lift you up and take you out of the place where you are. Okay? What do you think, Anne-Marie?
Renee, I guess what's concerning me is that I'm hearing you say that you know these things are going to happen, but you don't really have those options yet. Am I right on that?
Yes, I'm working on them.
Okay, so what I'm saying is you may have a boyfriend, but maybe you won't. And you may have a boss in the future, but maybe you won't. And so what I'm hearing you say is, tell me who it is. But you're not really asking for a reading on what's your higher self advice. What you're asking for is, I want to control the situation, so please let me know and reassure me that I can. What I'm saying, Renee, is that I think that you have a wonderful life coming, but perhaps it has nothing to do with any of these things. So if I look at that, and I'm not, you know, I can't read a road map, and without my GPS, I'm crap telling anybody, especially myself, where I'm going. So for me to tell you without a GPS, a psychic GPS, I could not tell you where you're going to meet somebody. But what I can tell you is put it in the hands of your angels. And what I can tell you is that the following. Your reading says that at this particular time, you have been open, your boundaries are down, you're absolutely ready for change in your life. Right side up, this would stand for somebody that's got boundaries. It would say 7 of Wands, somebody who's really putting a tough fight up to not get hurt or not allow anybody to get too close to them. But now that's changed and you're ready, and that's a good thing. Your reading says that lately money has not been too easy for you. And that's not because you can't have money. It could be because just like choosing to wait for the perfect man and where they are, you have kind of shut off your options by being less flexible. Being less flexible means being a survivor, taking on what's in front of you in the now and not worrying about what it is that's, 100,000 miles away. Your reading does say that you're on a new beginning in your life, Renee. I have the page of Wands, which indicates that you still have a very gullible, childlike attitude, which says that's a good thing. It means you can be adaptable. But it also shows that what you need right now is to be very aware that you are you can't be so blind and gullible that you believe that whatever is going to be perfect is in the future. Make it perfect now. And your reading says, maybe there won't be some romance right away, Renee. Maybe there isn't. Maybe it isn't, because your angels will always let you be in love when it is the right time. And your reading says, this is the year 2015, where your plans are going to turn into reality. Right side up, the Magician means turning plans into, where it's like creating the spell, creating the plan. But right side up, upside down, it says, you're ready to make it all happen. So my reading says, by being open, by being flexible, by not making rules and empowering choices for your angels and saying, thy will be done, let it happen the way that is best for me, then you're not trying to control the show and place limits on your opportunities. So I say, just open up to whatever your angels bring to you and quit trying to control the show by saying, when is this thing going to happen? Where is it going to be? What state? And that's what I have, baby girl.
Okay.
All right.
My first priority is business. Then it's romance. First, it's always business with me.
Let it happen. Let it happen. Let it happen.
Yeah. Thank you
Thank
both.
you, Renee.
It's been wonderful. And many blessings to both, and enjoy the summer.
All
Thank
right.
you.
You too.
Thank
All
you.
right. We have Anita from Arizona. Hey, Anita, how are you? We have 4 minutes and 41 seconds.
Okay.
I'll be really fast.
Pardon me?
I'll be really fast, Anita. How can I help you?
I'm in Arizona, going to Michigan, and I'm in a relationship with a guy named Danny, and my family's back there. What are you seeing?
Is there a question about whether or not that transfer to Michigan is permanent for you? Because as I connect with your energy, I feel like you are actually in transit. You are neither in one place nor the other. Right? So is there a sense in which, does it make sense if I say that may not be a permanent move for you?
Right, I'm going back for a visit. I don't know if I should go or not. Because of my health.
You're going for a visit. It's fine for you. It's fine for you to go. I would love for you to really stay. I'd like for you to really stay up on your toes. I'd like for you to really be paying attention, because my guides are saying to me that this is a trip when you get a lot of information that maybe you didn't have before. This is a time for a lot of discovery, a time when things are uncovered for you. And like I say, you feel in flux. You don't feel like you're in one place or the other with this. And so it's fine for you to go on the trip, but I'd like you to really be paying attention to Danny and paying attention to everything around you, honestly, to get information that you may not have had before. You're another one who's got pretty good gut instinct. Listen to that. You've gotten used to turning off that voice. Please listen. If your voice is saying, hey, something's not right here, or there's more to this story, or I'm not sure how comfortable I am with this arrangement, pay attention to that, Anita, okay? Because I wouldn't want to see your desire to be loved overcome your sort of good judgment. So pay attention. Keep your wits about you, would you please? Does that make sense?
Yeah. There's a guy named Randy here who I haven't seen in a long time, and I don't know if something keeps on telling me to call him, but I don't know if that's because I'm gullible right now.
You don't feel gullible right now. You do feel a little vulnerable. I would want to concentrate on one thing at a time. One thing at a time for you. What do you think, Anne-Marie?
What exactly was the question again? We have 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
I'm in Arizona, going to Michigan. My health, whether I should stay in Arizona, go to Michigan, and this relationship with Danny, or is there something else out there for me?
Should you stay in Arizona? Yes. Should you, and it says Danny's been a bit of a moody, temperamental butt, and there's a feeling that right now there's more conflict than it's worth with Danny. My sense is that get on your own, do what you need to do to be on your own boss. Right now, I would stop worrying about what state is going to give you more opportunities. Get your ducks in line, make some money where you're at, and realize that Danny isn't the answer to the be-all, end-all. He's actually causing a little bit of stress in you. So don't count on him for money, and don't count on him for making your happiness. My sense is that you should do it on your own, and moving is not going to make it any better for you. So take care of what you have right now, and that's what I see.
Yeah, I was going to go back for 35
years.
I was going to go to a 35-year class reunion, and I thought I'd need some happiness in my life, and it just seems like it's...
Going for a trip is different than living. So whatever you do, I'm not telling you not to go on a trip and not to go to a reunion. We have 53 seconds. Thank you so much, Anita. Miss Melissa, I'm sorry that we didn't get to you, and anybody else that's in the Inquick. Emily, sorry we didn't get to you. Lena, we didn't get to you. That must have been, I just snorted accidentally. So...
It happens sometimes. The really professional intuitives do snort occasionally. So that happens sometimes. Oh, my gosh, I just did it myself. That happens on the air.
Karen, love you. Go to KarenHager.com. KarenHager.com.
Thanks, Anne-Marie.
Hi, I'm Anne-Marie Odell at Achieve Radio's Tarot Joy. Come on upstairs. Grab yourself a tapestried pillow and get a down-home, honest reading with 30 years Master Tarot channeling experience. In addition, I will have a weekly spiritual guest from around the world. That's 2 readings per call for you. After the show, I invite you to come on over to thecallingoflight.com. I offer PayPal readings at 15-minute or 30-minute sections of time. All yours. To thecallingoflight.com.
The oldest and most trusted station of its kind in the world. This is AchieveRadio.com. Empower yourself.
AchieveRadio.com. Hi, I'm Desi Arnaz Jr. Welcome to Letting Go with Guy Finley. Guy is